And so it will go until I get past the dirt and get down here to the driveway. And already in this section here, I'm already kicking up stones and bouncing the little tiller. So I think probably from here all the way across to down there, I'm going to have to dig it by hand. Let me take you down and show you what I've got done so far. So you can see, and this circuit breaker here goes to this box right here. And of course that cord, if you follow it all the way down to the shop, is what's running my shop at the moment, just that extension cord. And it's actually going right in the door right there right now, because it was going through the wall, but now I have my box mounted down there, which I'll show you in a moment. So I have two circuit breakers that are not being used at the moment. The one is a double 50 amp right there, and the one above it is a 30 amp. 30 amp is the one that I'm going to be running for the foreseeable future till I can come up with some more money. It's going to be over $150 for 6.2 cable, which is what I need to run 50 amps down to the shop. But the 30 amp, and this is underground cable, will do everything I need to do in the shop actually, but I still would like to get 50 amps down here for future reference. And so it comes down here. I have this mat down so I don't trip over it every time I walk in here. It's going in there, and it's going up the conduit into that dooflicky right there that I think they call those a weatherhead. Well, I take you inside, and I can't turn the lights on because, well, we just got home from shopping. We came in the house, and don't you know, about 5 minutes after we got home, the lights went out. So anyway, I have my power cable coming in here, and that'll get hooked into the circuit breaker box, and I have 4 circuits planned. I have 2 that'll be 20 amp. One of those will be set up to run the compressor. The other one will be set up to run my welder, and both of those will work fine on 20 amps. If that proves to be false, I can always add a 30 amp because I will have 30 amp service. But back in Minnesota, in my shop there, I was set up just with 20 amp and worked fine. And then the other 2 circuits will be 15 amp. I know it's kind of dark in here, but we ain't got no lights, you know what I'm saying? So those 2 15 amp circuits, let me see, 2 15 amp circuits are going to run the lights in here, and now that I'm thinking about it, I need to get another 20 amp breaker because I need to run 20 amps in here for my outlets, although I'm sure most of all my drills and angle grinders and bench grinders and stuff like that would run fine on 15 amps. I would prefer to have them on 20 amps, so I know I got to get another 20 amp breaker, and that's no problem. My older brother is coming to visit me, and I'm hoping while he's here for the next week or so that we can get this all wired up in here, get rid of these hanging wires and power strips like that. I will be using the power strips in other places where I want multiple plug-ins. Probably down in the back there where I have my drill press, and I have my large disc sander right there. I could probably plug both of those into the same outlet because they won't be both running at the same time. And the same for my big grinder, which will be just to the right of that disc sander. And then the plan is to have my two bench grinders down on this bench. And I also am thinking, I'm not sure how I'm going to do this. I need to have a way that I can cut long stock on my cutoff saw, which my cutoff saw is just a 10-inch miter saw that I picked up from the dump for free, and it's been running. I did a couple of tinkerings on it. It's been running fine for 2 or 3 years since I got it, and it has a cutoff blade in it. I'm probably going to mount that right in here, so I have, 6 feet that way and 6 feet that way for cutting long pieces. And if worse comes to worse, I wouldn't be against cutting an access hole in that back wall with a flapper door on it, so I could run long stuff through there if I need to. You know what I mean? So, even with no lights in here, it's towards the end of the day, but even with no lights in here, with the white ceilings, it sure makes a whole lot of difference. And I can see pretty well for the most part. You can see I've started loading up my pegboard, and I'm trying to get some of my bins emptied, and I've got to find a place to set up my stereo so I have some tunes out here, don't you know? So yeah, that's where I'm at with my wiring. I got to finish digging my trench. I think what I'm going to do this evening, because it's the end of the day, I've been out with my wife shopping and so forth, I'm going to finish digging my trench down to here where I stopped with the tiller. Dig that with my adze pickaxe, and then I can bury my wire at least for 8 feet. I won't be able to bury it all, obviously. But yeah, so it'll be buried up in here, and I'm only digging the trench about 6 inches deep, and that's an approximation. You can see where it comes down out of the conduit here and goes up into the box there. Our freeze level here is 6 inches or less, so I'm guessing that if I put it down 6 inches under the soil, it ain't going to get heaved up too much, if at all. So there you have it. Another beautiful day here in Tennessee. Sun is high, low in the sky, and it is about 80 degrees with relatively low humidity. Well, you can tell I got a regular shirt on and a hat on, and we're just starting to break a sweat. Yeah, it says 80 degrees right there. See that? Yep. I wonder what it is in the shop. Fan hasn't been running because I have the screen on the top there. So let's see what it says here. Yeah, it says a little bit above 80. So, yep. No fan going, so no air circulation. I got to figure out where I'm going to put my air conditioning unit, don't you know? Because, yeah, we're supposed to have 97, 98, 99 degrees next week. Yeah, it's supposed to be relatively low humidity, but even so, that's pretty warm. I'm thinking I might put it right up here at the top of the wall, and because cold air settles down, so if you get the air conditioner up higher, you're better off than if it's down lower. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I'm thinking if I put it up right here, right next to my circuit breaker box, maybe skip over one bay here and put it in these three here. I could put it right there, have close access to the circuit breaker box, so I could plug it right in there, and there's another 20 amp breaker I'd want right there. So there's two more 20 amp breakers, and that'll finish off my box. So yep, that'll do it. Thanks for watching, commenting, and for subscribing. And you know, this is, after all, Goofy's Garage. Bye for now.